Good morning. I'm higher vibrations and so are you. And before we get into the Ascension Symptoms, there's a couple of announcements. This Friday, so the 22nd of July, there will be a free Zoom gathering. Just a bunch of light seeds, a bunch of light warriors and star seeds alike, empath, highly sensitive people, just everybody on this awakening journey are welcome to gather. And it's just a beautiful space. It's free. It will be at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the following day, Saturday the 23rd, I will be going live. There will be a live Q&A at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's just a place where you can type in and any questions or observations or anything like that, and I'll answer them live at that time. So a lot of things have been going on energetically for us for quite some time, especially with these solar flares. I mean, it's kind of become a joke, like to actually look, because we just can kind of know that if we're not in a solar flare experience, then we're looking forward to one coming soon, right? So here we are, we're in another one. And at the same time, there's these energies that started in the full moon, really, where so before anything had happened, the divine feminine energy needed to anchor, and it did that. However, something changed, something clicked, something shifted around the full moon, where a lot of us women as well as men, are feeling womb related discomfort. People who are in their moon cycle period right now are finding that their symptoms are very, very pronounced, as well as many men are finding themselves going through these experiences that they know to be similar to, or whatever, to the female cycle of just cramps and discomfort and also just emotional pings, back and forth, and instability in a lot of ways. Please know that that's just this anchoring energy happening for all of us. Everything that's present for us is here in order to create the most fertile ground for us to heal, for us to see, for us to be present and to hear, to be in the experience that's occurring, to observe it with every one of our senses. We have so many senses that we use automatically already. We're just starting to recognize that they're there. So don't be alarmed when you start to see that you have a gift or a talent that has come online recently. You're okay. For any guidance regarding those things that you might need, one place that a lot of people come to are these Zoom meetings. We're coming online and realizing that we have these things and not sure what to do with them and how to maneuver them. And in those little meetings, we have this space where we're able to provide guidance based on our own experience. And there's a lot of us that are already in tune with those types of things, so we can channel information and provide that space. So just know that you're not alone, that you're having these things. It doesn't make you scary or weird. It's just there's a muscle that you didn't know was there, is all. Along with having these upgrades, we're also noticing some unpleasant things, like shifting in our energy that kind of feels like you look, like in the Scooby-Doo, and like that faded cross in between these two experiences, because we are truly in, like coexisting between these branches of energy, of frequency. The higher that our frequency goes, the higher that our vibration is, the more we're able to perceive in that higher vibrating space, right? You catch up with the vibration, you're also going to be able to see it. And so we are perceiving some things that can be alarming at first, not realizing what's occurring. At the same time, we're also vibrating at that where we had been before, perhaps. And so there's like this in between worlds kind of experience that feels disorienting in some way, and if it's bothering you, I've found that when I stop with a moment in the moment and create the intent to be in space A or space B, then I can put myself there, kind of collect myself a little bit and regain my bearings before I try into it again. A lot of us, I should say all of us on this awakening journey, have come here knowing that we're going to kind of be doing this limbo, hanging out in both spaces kind of thing, and so we have the ability. It's simply knowing what's happening. Knowing, the power of knowing, not just knowledge, but the knowing is so empowering for you to realize what's occurring in front of you. Then all of a sudden it's not such a difficult task to do. A lot of the typical stuff that hasn't stopped are the ear ringing. We're having the fluttering and the weird experiences in our sinuses and also within our eyes. Those are separate and also related. The headaches that are involving right behind the eye. I'm still having this experience of it moving through the energy out. It doesn't feel completely uncomfortable, especially knowing that it's moving through and out. And every time it feels like a cleaning of some kind. Also, the vibration of the core stuff, that's kind of, it's become a little bit more pronounced, especially as we're getting these solar flares. You remember the Syrian sun is amplifying what our sun gives us by 20. So as we get these solar flares, times 20. As we get whatever we get from the sun, it's times 20. And so that's providing us with this perfect fertile space for healing, to bring these energies up and just to look at them. They don't need to be integrated into our daily lives. We don't need to create a new label for ourselves to make it fit into the world that we're trying to shove it into. But instead, simply acknowledge it for what it is and what it was. And then without judgment, without trying to decide where it belongs or doesn't, just allow it to be, knowing that it was, and release it, sending it away with love. For us, all we're really doing right now, we're dusting. There's little residual energy pockets left behind that just, need to be picked up and sent on their way. This is disrupting a lot of our sleep experience. We're finding that dream time is becoming a more busy space, and that's been true for some time. However, the amount of times that occurs, the frequency that occurs, has increased quite a bit. Hot cold flashes has been a very interesting experience. Various parts of your body being a completely different temperature than others, and inconsistently so. The dizziness has become a thing, in that in some cases the dizziness, I'm starting to understand what it is a little bit, but it's not something to be alarmed about. It's as these plasma bursts move through us and turn on that 90 to 95% of our DNA. Because remember, we were told for a long, long time that the vast majority of our DNA was junk. They put a bunch of garbage in us. That's what we've been taught all this time. And over the past few years, truly, but they're really starting to actually make it so people can hear them saying that, oh, by the way, this DNA is not junk. It's unactivated. It's dormant DNA. As all of these lockdown babies, the result of a lot of lockdowns has resulted in a lot of babies. We can feel this pouring in. We can feel this energy, this love, this wisdom. But this wise love is coming in such a strong way. And those are the little babies. Those are the little people that are coming, not having to have gone through these things that we're going through right now, since they are already activated in those ways. Our chakras are coming online, so we're having chakra activations. There are different parts of our body that are feels interfered with in some ways. A lot of us are having mouth and throat related things, and that's because, from what I tuned into and asked the question for, the answer is that there's a lot of quieted mouths that have been kind of pulled through all the eras of time that we've been in for quite some time now. And so many individuals, so many existences having not been able to speak their truth, for not without severe consequence, have learned to quiet themselves, to not speak up, to not say what is occurring. For so many years in this existence, I've done the same. And so a lot of us are turning on now, and that's affecting our throat. There are thyroid-related experiences, though it turns out their thyroid is healthy from the doctor, but something's going on thyroid. Also, whatever these glands are called, I can't remember right now. We're also having oral-related stuff, as well as throat, scratchy, kind of like almost like a cold. I'm noticing my voice is changing, and it sounds like I'm hoarse in many instances, but I'm not. I mean, I don't feel like I am. I don't have any reason to be, and like, I don't talk that much. But so we're having a lot of those kind of activations, as well as palms of hands, soles of feet, both sides of the hips. I've noticed these shoulder ones that have been starting to be in a new experience. There's this space on our back that where your shoulder blades are, just in the center almost, just a little above. There are these 2 points. Your spine is in the center, right? There are these 2 points that are starting to activate energetically, and we're starting to be able to feel as if with 2 new additional large appendages from those spaces, and feel very far out in our surroundings, which is a very fascinating experience. Let me know if you know what that is. Also, we're having just a lot of weird dream stuff, like not able to recall dreams, and then all of a sudden being able to manipulate your dreams, realizing you're having lucid dreaming experiences, and also those who hadn't been able to recall their dreams suddenly recalling them. Vocabulary being affected is a big deal. Balance, physical balance, just not even like feeling dizzy in those moments. Balance, our equilibrium is somehow being affected, which is interesting. You know, as all this stuff's coming in and shifting for us. A lot of disruption with diet or food related things, and disruption in not so much a bad way, it's just an interesting way. So that same kind of slow shifting is occurring again, but it's changed into this lack of appetite, unplanned fasting kind of experience. I typically do intermittent fasting, and I know I've mentioned it in practically every one of my videos. It's just something that was a groundbreaking thing for me to realize I don't have to eat because they suggest that I do. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Well, you really can't avoid having a breakfast because breakfast is just simply breaking your fast. You don't have to eat when you wake up. Whenever your body is ready to eat is when it's time. You know, and for the longest time, I ate these meals and was sick for quite a bit of the day as a result. And now I'm allowing myself to only eat when I really want to. And that tends to be an early dinner. Everybody's different. Listening to your body is one of the most amazing things that you can do for yourself. Also, pardon me, increased water intake. The need to drink so many fluids right now, but particularly water. You know, when they're corrupted, when they're flavored by something else, even herbal tea. I still find that just the purest of water is what my body really wants right now, in large quantities. So, you know, drink the water. It helps assist the plasma move through our bodies as we get up these upgrades. All of these things, meditation, walking in nature, you know, interacting with the water, saying I love you to the water while you participate with it. It changes that water to this holy water experience, and then it will impart some of its information and wisdom upon you. It's a beautiful experience. Our senses have been upgrading, and we're able to perceive different things, and it's still trying to go through that process of understanding and reasoning that doesn't really apply in a lot of these experiences. But know that you're not alone. Know that as these things happen, you know, that you're okay. These things are temporary, you know, like electronics won't always fail when we interact with them. That's just what's happening right now. You know, we're not always going to have sleep disruption. It's just occurring at this moment. The desire to sleep all day long, and then when it's bedtime, being like that giddy kid trying to force your eyes to stay open because I don't know why it's important to stay awake right now, you know, but like all these weird things happening to us, you know, feeling the vibration and the charges as we walk through the ground with this, with our bare feet. We walk in the grass, the soil, the dirt, the sand. There's this exchange that has always occurred, but it's improved in some way. And the exchange that is called ionization, that it's a natural process that occurs by the soles of our feet have the largest pores, and so we're able to expel the things that our body doesn't need any longer, as well as absorbing important nutrients and minerals that are in the soil, and it gives us this grounding experience. That is the most important thing I could probably say at this point, is to remember to ground. Remember that you are amazing. You know, there are a lot of things that pop up right now that may not be the most beautiful to look at, but as each thing comes up, please say your name and that you forgive yourself for it. You forgive yourself for the reaction that you had or the feeling of it or whatever. That's something that we tend to all do. At some point, we realize that we've been spending our lives feeling wrong about all these things, even if they were occurrences done to us. Forgive yourself, and you will be free. I am sending you so much love. Thank you for your service. I hope you're having a lovely journey. Aho blessing.